Hello and welcome to Ancient Asia. What is special about today's episode is the 64th video, that is, the Chausath video of our wonderful channel. And to justify the number, we are here with a very informative video, that is, the Chausath Yogini temples. The Yogini temples of India are 9th to 12th century roofless hypaethral shrines to the Yoginis, female masters of yoga, in Hindu Tantra broadly equated with goddesses, especially Parvati, incarnating the sacred feminine force. They remained largely unknown and unstudied by scholars until late in the 20th century. Several of the shrines have niches for 64 Yoginis, so are called as Chausath Yogini temples. The extant temples are scattered over central and northern India in the states of Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. Lost temples, their locations identified from surviving Yogini images, are still more widely distributed across the subcontinent from Delhi in the north and the border of Rajasthan in the west to Greater Bengal in the east and Tamil Nadu in the south. Yoginis. From around the 10th century, Yoginis appear in groups, often of 64. They appear as goddesses, but human female adepts of Tantra can emulate and even embody these deities who can appear as mortal women, creating an ambiguous and blurred boundary between the human and the divine. Significance. Hartley, following Vidya Dahejya, suggests that the Yogini temples relate to the Tantric Yogini chakra. This is a mandal of mantra goddesses surrounding Shiva, Bhairava, installation of which was central to the ritual of esoteric Shaiva cult of Yoginis. Chapter 9th of the Kaulajnana Nimaya, attributed to the 10th century sage Matsyendranath, describes a system of 8 chakras represented as 8 petaled lotus flowers, the total of 64 petals denoting the 64 Yoginis. Practices. Hindu tantric practices were secret. However, texts from 600 AD describe esoteric rituals often linked to the cremation grounds. Female practitioners of Hindu Tantrism also called as Yoginis. Activities included Pran Pratishtha, the ritual consecration of images such as of Yoginis. Present-day rituals of this type can last 3 days with a team of priests involving ritual purification and eye-opening ceremony, worship, Yogini Puja, invocation of protectors, and the preparation of a yantra diagram containing a Yogini mandal and an array of areca nuts for the 64 goddesses. 64 Yogini shrines. Chausath Yogini shrines, Hirapur Yogini shrines. The small 9th century Yogini temple at Hirapur, only 25 feet in diameter, is in Khurda district, Odisha, 10 miles south of Bhubaneswar. 60 of the Yoginis are arranged in a circle around a small rectangular shrine that may have contained a Shiva image. The circle is reached via a protruding entrance passage, so that the plan of the temple has the form of a yoni pedestal for a Shiva lingam. At least 8 of the Yoginis stand on animal vehicles representing signs of the zodiac, including a crab, a scorpion, and a fish, suggesting a link with astrology or calendrical work. Around the outside of the temple are 9 unsmiling goddesses, locally described as the 9 Katyayanis, an unusual feature for Yogini temple. The The entrance is flanked by a pair of male Dwarpala door guardians. Two additional images near the Dwarpalas may be Bhairavas. The scholar Shaman Hartley suggests that if the temple is seen as a tantric mandal embodied in stone, Shiva is surrounded by 4 yoginis and 4 Bhairavas of an inner circuit and 60 yoginis of an outer circuit. Ranipur Jharial, Balangir Yogini Temple. The Chausath Yogini Peeth in Ranipur Jharial near the towns of Titligarh and Katabanji in Balangir district, Odisha, is a large high-pithril 64 Yogini temple. 60 of the Yogini images survive. At the center is a shrine with 4 pillars holding an image of Nateshwar, Shiva as Lord of Dance. The similar-sized image of Chamunda in the temple may once have been housed with Shiva in the central shrine. Ranipur Jharial was the first of the Yogini temples to be discovered. It was described by Major General John Campbell in 1853. Chausath Yogini Temple, Khajuraho. The 9th of the 10th century Yogini temple at Khajuraho, Madhya Pradesh, lies to the southwest of the western group of temples in Khajuraho near Chhatarpur in Chhatarpur district and is the oldest temple on the site. It is rectangular unlike the other Yogini temples, but like them is hypithral. There is no sign of a central shrine. The central deity, whether that was Shiva or the goddess, was apparently housed in the niche larger than the rest opposite the entrance. It was constructed with 65 shrine cells, each with a doorway made of 2 square granite pillars and a lintel stone, and each with a tower roof. 35 of the cells survive. It stands on a 5.4 meter high platform. 3 squat images of Brahmani, Maheshwari and Hingalaj Mahishamardini survived at the site and are on display in the museum there. Chausath Yogini Temple, Mitauli. The well-deserved 11th century Yogini temple at Mitauli, also spelled as Mitawali and Mitwali in Morena district, Madhya Pradesh, 30 miles north of Gwalior, also called Ikattarso Mahadev Temple, has a central mandapa sacred to Shiva in an open circular courtyard with 65 niches. The niches are now all filled with statues of Shiva, but they once held statues of 64 yoginis and a deity. The hypithral temple stands alone on top of a rocky hill. The entrance is directly into the circular wall. The outside of the temple is adorned with small niches that once held statues of couples with maidens on either side, but most of these are now lost or heavily damaged. Stay tuned for the next episode of 81 Yogini Temple Shrine. Like, share and subscribe. This is Ancient Asia.